Hey everybody. Before we begin, yes, my hair and makeup is done. That's intentional. I recently spent 8 days in the hospital and I decided that we're going to celebrate clarity. We celebrate not being in hospital anymore. We celebrate being able to think clearly, speak clearly, and engage big ideas with a functioning brain. So today I'm grateful for clarity. And clarity is exactly what cultural apologetics is about. In this video, I want to discuss a major modern issue in cultural apologetics: the belief that truth is personal and rooted primarily in feelings. We often hear phrases like live your truth, speak your truth, that may be true for you, but not for me. Have you heard those? Have you said those? If you haven't, or if you have, I'm sure you're going to in the future, or I'm sure you've heard somebody that has said it. These statements reflect a deeper cultural assumption that truth is subjective. In other words, truth is no longer something objective and universal, it is something internal and individual. If I feel something strongly enough, it becomes true for me. Sound familiar? And if someone challenges it, that challenge feels like a rejection of my identity. That is one of the defining characteristics of our modern cultural movement. Cultural apologetics ask, how did we get here? Historically, the truth is that we understood it as someone outside of us, something fixed, something that was discovered, something we conformed ourselves to. Today, the truth increasingly is seen as something that originates from within us. Feelings are treated as authority. Personal experience is treated as final, period, dot, exclamation. That's sus for you, young generation. Instead of asking, is this true? We ask, is this true for me? Have you caught yourself asking this? This shift now has major consequences. If truth is defined by internal feelings, then morality will become fluid. If morality becomes fluid, then disagreement feels like a danger. Because when identity is rooted in feelings, disagreement feels personal. When something feels personal, you feel attacked. When you feel attacked, feelings take over, a conversation becomes ugly. You've probably experienced this in church, work, home setting, more at church if you've been church hurt or have had a conversation with a new member and they say something that happened or something that, they're like, oh, don't judge me, but, or I'm trying to think of a good example. Okay, so come across somebody at church and they're like, I don't know, I read the Bible last night and I think it's okay to get tattoos. And the other woman's like, no, the Bible doesn't say it's okay to get tattoos. Two different opinions, and you're just sitting there and you have tattoos. Now you're personally hurt because you're looking at it as feelings instead of as a truth. It will make sense if you research it a little deeper. I'm trying not to get off subject, but I just want you to understand where we're talking about feelings becoming fluid. All right, so this is why cultural conversations today are often emotionally charged rather than rationally grounded. From a Christian worldview, this creates tension. That's what I was talking about before, especially in church. Tension is formed. People walk away because they don't like tension. Christianity teaches that truth is not created by us. It is revealed by God. Another word for that, conviction. In John 14:6, Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. That statement presents truth as objective and grounded in the character of Christ. Truth in the Christian understanding does not change based on emotion, preference, or cultural trends. It exists independently of us and Jesus Christ. But here is the critical apologetic question. If truth is entirely personal, what happens when personal truths conflict? If your truth contradicts my truth, who determines which one prevails? Back to the tattoo example. See where I'm getting at? I promise it all will come together once you do your research. And even if you speak to your pastor about it, everything will link together. Without an objective standard, disagreements are no longer about discovering truth. They become contests of power of emotion. We appeal to justice. We condemn oppression. We demand fairness. We expect honesty. So while culture may verbally reject objective truth, it practically depends on it. That tension is exactly where cultural apologetic engages. The goal of cultural apologetics is not to attack culture. When someone says, "This is my truth," the Christian response should not be dismissive. It should be thoughtful and compassionate. We can acknowledge the feelings are real and experiences matter, but we can also gently argue that feelings do not determine reality. Truth is something we align ourselves with, not something we manufacture. And if truth exists outside of us, then it has the authority to shape us. So the modern issue that we face in cultural apologetics is this: has our culture replaced objective truth with personal reality? And if so, what are the consequences? Let me know in the comments. If truth bends to the individual, society becomes unstable. But if truth exists beyond the individual, society becomes unstable. After spending 8 days in a hospital bed, I can say this with confidence: clarity matters. And in a world that feels increasingly unstable, objective truth offers stability. This is why this issue is not just rationally, it is deeply practical. I want you to pray about this, dig deep into this issue, go to church on Sunday, and have your next conversation with this issue in your heart and mind. Don't let cultural apologetics tear down your relationship with Jesus Christ. God bless, and thanks for watching. Have a great day.